Oh, finally.
Martina,
Hi, nice to see you finally.
thank you first of all for inviting me. It's a real honor to be here.
Thank you so much for the acceptance.
Yeah.
So I just wanted you to kind of share with me some of your experiences, and obviously because I invited you because I feel you have a lot of things to say and to shed some light on the industry and just whatever you feel like, and especially with your show that you do. I feel you're giving a lot of chances to people who maybe wouldn't get them in a usual way. In the same time, introducing the well-known DJs as the new DJs. So if we can talk about that for a minute.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I would love to take this chance to introduce my Dirty Disco show to people who may not know it yet. So yeah, in the first place, it's all about sharing the passion in music. You know, that's what you do when you were a DJ, clearly. And with Dirty Disco, I try to be a little bit more than just another DJ mix or just another podcast or music show. It's basically all of that. You know, it's a pod. I call it a podcast for music lovers, DJs, and music professionals. So you can come if you want to just hear a proper DJ mix, or if you want to find new music for your own sets, and for other music professionals in the industry like A&R managers or music labels, they can find fresh new talents through my show, because I try to stay away from the most part to stay away from the mainstream music that you find in the top 10 charts on Beatport and Traxsource, to give the unknown talents, the emerging artists, a chance to be played as well. And so that, and at the same time, next to bringing new music and the listening experience, I also try to spread a positive message through the show, especially now I think people need that. We are all at home more, and I think there are a lot of people who are having difficulties, spending their time, maybe their walls in their houses, they come at them, so I think that's I have a good platform to also bring positivity to the people. So that's basically what I try to do with Dirty Disco.
But if you can tell me, how did you start, and also how did you transform from a like DJ having gigs to this platform now having a show? Like, how did all of that happen?
Well, it started with the love for music. As a DJ, I have been DJing since my I believe 12th year. So I always wanted to DJ everywhere, to play good music for the people, to let them hear this good music. And so when the whole internet revolution started, and there were these places you could upload a DJ mix and things like that started to happen, I figured I could also do that online, instead of dropping demo CDs and tapes to other DJs or labels or radio stations. I could also start something online. So I did that, but there were like already thousands of DJs doing DJ mixes online. So I figured, why not do a combination of a radio show and a DJ mix? So that's how Dirty Disco started. And when you listen to the first few episodes, you will really laugh at me.
I need to do that.
Yeah. But yeah, that's seven. I do this now 7.7 years. I recorded episode 400 this weekend. So
congratulations! Yeah, that's a really big number.
Yeah, 400 weeks in a row of recording a music show. Yeah, that asks quite some dedication. So and basically that's how it all started, and I never stopped doing it.
So what do you feel now? I mean, obviously with the COVID times, it's a really nice way to keep busy, and a lot of people are doing it, especially online with the shows and with the streams and podcasts, and it's a lot of material out there. What do you feel kind of makes your show so popular? What is the thing that separates you from all of the people doing this now?
Yeah, you are right. There are more people doing this, doing the same, and yeah, a lot of them each in their own way. Because I also try to listen to other shows as well to see how other people do this. But yeah, I try to be different, to first of all to also bring something positive, not just only music, but also, yeah, a positive message. You know, I always motivate people to stay healthy and especially happy. And music is a good tool to stay happy, you know, because it touches your soul, and you can be sad and happy at the same time when you listen to music. So it's a good tool. And like I said earlier, I also try to step away from the really mainstream music. Yeah, of course there are exceptions. If I hear a track that's really, really awesome, then I will definitely play it, you know. But I don't just go to the Beatport top 10 and then use those tracks in my show. I really try to find those gems, or at least what I think are gems, and then present it to the people. And even with my weekly 2-hour show, and there's still not time enough to put all that music in. I curate like every week, like about 100 tracks, and only 25 or 20 end up in the show. But yeah, I wish I could push all of them, you know. So yeah, yeah, it's really fun to do. It's really nice to do, you know, to be busy with music this way and to receive all these messages from people when you upload a new show, you know. So yeah.
So I heard that there is or was some like testing in Amsterdam where they did like a COVID party. Do you know anything about that, and how did that go?
Yeah, it was all over the news. They had a few of those testing parties, and I believe last weekend there was one close by here where I live, and it was they tested a few inside events, and last weekend they tested an outside event, like a mini festival. I believe there were only 1,500 people, and from what I read, yeah, people were celebrating and having good times. And also what I read from the statistics, that it went very well, you know, in terms of the virus. And so yeah, it looks like if they can do it this way, it could be a way to start doing events and festivals again. But you know, people have to show proof that they were tested within the last 48 hours, I believe, and things like that, of course. So yeah, I think it's good that they do this, you know, because the whole event industry is closed down, you know. All bars, clubs, festivals, they are losing money as we speak. And yeah, I'm very afraid of what's coming, you know. I think a lot of these companies they have to file for how do you call that, for
Bankruptcy, I mean.
yeah, bankruptcy. Yeah. I think that will come. You don't hear that a lot yet, but it will come. So unfortunately, but yeah, it is what it is. So we have to deal with it. We have to make the best out of it. So these companies with these field testings, they are doing it in a good way. So at least they do something.
So also, what I know about you is that you are also consulting businesses on the grounds of like music, and kind of helping them create better business with music. So
Yeah.
like how do you do that?
Yeah, well, that's just a little part of what I do. I have to be honest about that. especially now, I was consulting a lot of these cafes and bars, you know, for example, to create playlists and play the music for their target audience. And I also try to do that with brands. You know, there are some of these brands that like to use music in their branding and to reach their potential customers. So therefore, I set it up this service. You know, with my expertise in music, through years, I'm capable of, you know, providing a service like this. And then, yeah, this can be. It can be like a DJ mix. It can be like a simple playlist, or and it's very widespread. You know, I have clients with businesses, but I also have private clients who just want to mix for their wedding or for a small little party. Well, before the COVID, clearly, but yeah, things like that. So there is a market, but since it's just a small part, I don't put too much effort in that part of my business, because I do other stuff as well next to music, of course. So yeah, I would love to make it bigger, for sure.
So if you can name 5 people now that you would like to promote more, that you really believe in, like as artists, but that are not well known, who would you like to mention? Like from your show, maybe, or somebody that you think is.
Oh yeah, that's very hard. That's same like if you ask me which actor I like the best, or what's my favorite all-time movie. You know, I don't know. There are so many great artists, great labels out there, and every week every week I find new ones, you know, that I never heard of before. Small independent labels. Yeah, so if I have to name a label, I think that to help them a little bit also, because I really like their music, from the Italian-based label Flanked Up Recordings. They really, yeah, they have some really quality tunes. I believe they have a small catalog, and they push everything to vinyl as well. So yeah, their releases are really, really top notch. And I like which is also a small label, I believe it's Ad Hoc Records, which focuses more on the, yeah, I call it future forward-thinking house music, forward-thinking electronicas. Like the sound of Maribou State. I don't know if you know them, Maribou State, and yeah, that sounds, it's a sound that I really like, you know, but it's more something to listen to rather than to dance to, you know. So yeah, these labels are, in my opinion, doing something good. Yeah, there are bigger labels as well, you know. I have always been a big fan of the Defected label since my childhood. You know, I have their very first vinyl release of Soul Searchers, I Can't Get Enough, I believe. So yeah, I always took a lot of inspiration from the Defected label, and still, because, you know, they also, you see that they are also changing their business model because of the pandemic. And yeah, so they are also, because they are doing that, they also at the same time spreading positivity to people that are having a hard time now, because, you know, there are many people who just like to quit with what they do because it's not working anymore. But yeah, especially if you are a business in business, then you have to adjust your business to what's happening around you. And now there is a crisis, so yeah, that's ask for big changes. So yeah, and people, yeah, that's hard, you know. If I'm going to mention artists, then I'm also going to forget a lot. So so yeah, you know, what I really like nowadays is those artists that try to produce music to listen to, you know, not especially for the dance floor, because clearly we are hungering for dance floor, but we can't. So you with that you also see that a lot of people are reaching more towards a listening experience, you know, and especially electronic music to listen to. So yeah, a few of the producers that I frequently play, you notice that they are now producing more for listening than for dancing. So which is also yeah, which is a good thing, of course.
So also, I know you're a full-time dad of, if I'm not mistaken, two lovely kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you do it all? Like I have one, and I struggle sometimes. But how do you do it all with all those things that you do, and still like being able to spend quality time with your family?
Yeah, of course. I'm not alone. I also have a wife who supports me in this, and what you know, it's to be honest, it's not easy. You know, it takes a lot of effort and dedication to deliver a weekly show, but yeah, through the years I created a workflow that makes it really easy for me to do it. It still takes, I believe, 8 hours a week in total to do everything, but yeah, it's a workflow. You know, if I would change that workflow, it would take me longer. But and therefore that's also the reason why it's hard for me to make it bigger or to do more on the socials or to you know, for example, I was wanted to do interviews in the show as well, you know, with artists, but these things take more time, so I left them out, you know. And yeah, my children are now a little bit older. They are 9 and 11, so when they grow up it gets more easier as well. It's also a reason why I stopped producing music when I became a father, because I always wanted to produce. I wasn't really good at it, but I was learning. And then yeah, you get children, and yeah, then it becomes harder to make music. So yeah, so that's, so I decided, okay, let me stop with producing for now, and let me just focus on DJing and bringing music to the people with my radio show. And yeah, so you know, it asks a lot of dedication. It doesn't bring in a lot of revenue or something like that, but yeah, it's my passion. You can also see it as a sort of therapy, you know, in my daily life. So when I'm in the studio, I'm busy with music, you know, I'm in my own world, zoning, you know, and I can forget everything else in that time. And we need that as well. So so yeah, I'll manage. You know, it's not easy, but yeah, if you want something, you have to go for it.
Yeah, sure. And, what are your goals for the future with the show? Is there something that you maybe are gonna add or started on some projects or something you would like to mention?
Yes, I want. You know, recently I upgraded the logo and the branding of Dirty Disco. I think that this is 3 weeks ago, thanks to Darko from the northern of Macedonia for this, and clearly also Dragan for reaching out to him. And so yeah, that was the first step, because I always wanted to I don't want to use advertisements in the show to bring in money, you know, because I don't like advertisements, and my listeners most likely won't like them as well. So I was always trying to figure out how can we create a little bit of revenue, you know, to keep doing what I'm doing. And at the same time give something to the people. So therefore I decided we are now busy figuring out how to create this, is to make a sort of Dirty Disco apparel line, you know, and just small, nothing big, but I'm getting help from our German friend Falco, and he's helping out because he has a lot of experience in working in businesses and managing businesses. So he's helping me yeah, setting this out, how can we grow together, and creating apparel is one of these one of the IDs. So we are working on that, and yeah, I'm very excited to do that and to bring something to the people, you know, that they can wear and that they can support at the same time Dirty Disco with. But I don't want it to be just another print on a T-shirt, you know. I want it to be something more than that. So we are still working. Yeah. So and yeah. Next to that, I'm always open to collaborations with anybody. You know, it's like I said, I put a lot of time in it, and I wish I could put in more time. So you know, I always shout out to people in my show. You know, if you want to collaborate, if you are a DJ who wants to do a guest mix, or if you are like a other type of content creator, if you want to write a blog for the website, or if you are a designer, everybody is welcome. You know, clearly I cannot pay these people, but together we can build something, and maybe one day, yeah, create something we can live from. You know, that's a little bit the idea.
That's amazing. Yeah, I hope you'll get there.
Yeah, I hope so too. And if not, you know, then we are having fun while we are doing it. So, so yeah,
So your whole personality and your spirit and the message through the show is positivity. What do you do to kind of keep yourself motivated and on that level?
Yeah, I do different things. Because to be honest, I wasn't always that positive, you know. I always been through. I also been through different phases in my life, like anybody else. And I also was one time in a very dark place, and where I learned at that time to be positive. And so I started reading about the things, how you can, grow yourself personally, but also business-wise. That was also the moment that I started my own business. And for me, sporting does really help. You know, it's a big part to stay fresh and happy. You know, happy because of your health, but also happy in your mind. And doing the things you love to do, for example, is also something that can help to stay positive. You know, if you are always working but you are not, you don't love your job, it's going to hurt after a while. So try to do things that you like, you know, that you love to do. I read a lot to find inspiration from other people as well, you know, to stay motivated. It helps when you are down. Sometimes you can, then you can relate to other situations, other people's lives, you know, and you see that, you know, it's all part of life. So I tried several things, you know. I tried to eat healthy, even though that's very hard for me. So, but I try, you know. I always tell myself and my kids, we need to eat healthy. And then they are looking at me saying, yeah, but we don't. So we don't do that, Dad. Yeah, but we need to try. So sometimes we eat like 1 or 2 weeks in a row, we eat healthy, and then we treat ourselves in the weekend with something, with some comfort food, you know. So you have to find balance in everything. So I think if you are aware of that, you know, finding balance, that there isn't really good or a bad, then it will come good.
And I have one more question, and that is, a lot of DJs, especially like younger people, kind of expect to make it very fast. But basically, I would say it's very important to stay stable and focused and dedicated. What is your advice for them, and how would you advise them to be persistent in what they're doing, even when they don't get the results they want to?
I think I can give a lot of different advices in this. You know, what being in music is asks for creative people. You know, most people who are in music are very creative, like other artists, like painters or writers, and many of these people they tend to have they don't tend to have a professional mindset. And I think this is something you really need. So if you want to make music your business, your life, your income out of it, then you also have to approach it with a professional mindset. You know, for example, just a small example is that in the years that I have been DJing, I have seen so many DJs. You know, they had great skills, great taste in music, but they had trouble to get in time on their DJ gig. For example, you know, if you don't take that seriously, or if you can't handle the the requirements, you know, for a gig, or you know, when you're talking to people, you also need to be professional. You know, professional about the money, about yourself. You know, when you are going to play a gig, of course you need to be yourself, but you also need to think from the other side as well. So what do those people want to see from you, except for of course being a good DJ and doing your thing on behind the decks? But you know, it's also about your appearance. You know, if you are going to for a job, you will make sure that you are representative for the job interview, right?
Yeah.
So you know, there are a lot of DJs. You know, they come unshaved, they put on a old hoodie or a cap, you know, sunglasses, and they start playing. Yeah, I think it's more about that. I know you are being an artist, but you are also, you need to represent yourself in a good way, in a positive way, so that people can take you seriously. I think this is very important, you know. Just like with any other job, you want people to take you seriously, and they only will do when you come in time, when you be honest and transparent in things.
Okay, well, is there anything else that you would maybe like to add, or something that we didn't mention?
Yeah, of course, I would I would like to invite people who are not familiar with my radio show to come over and listen and see what it's all about. I would like to invite people to my radio show.
So the main platform is on Mixcloud, yeah, and it's a Dirty Disco show, and then you have your own webpage, right?
Yeah, I'm. It's on a lot of these platforms. It's on SoundCloud, Mixcloud. I have indeed the official Dirty Disco website, dirtydiscoradio.com, and it's in all these podcast apps as well, on Spotify. It's on Google and Apple Podcasts, and several other podcast apps. I'm trying to put it on as many platforms as I can, because some people like to use SoundCloud, other people like to use YouTube. It's hard, but I rather would like them to come to one place, you know, so I could manage everything from there. But yeah, it's you know, to reach more people, you need to push it on more platforms. So yeah, so I'm on all these major platforms available. So just choose your weapon of mass destruction and go with the flow.
Yeah, you're doing a really good job with that. Like, I'm really amazed how can you put it on all possible platforms that basically exist.
Yeah, well, I have a workflow. You know, I have like an Excel sheet, and that's my starting point. You know, next to the music, I always fill in the Excel sheet with a track listing and the items that I want to discuss. But also there's also small lists, so I don't forget it to publish it on all these platforms. So and next to that, there's a little piece of promotion. You know, I always do a Facebook post, and I try to do Instagram as well, but I don't always succeed with that, because you know, there is only so much time. But I try, you know, and sometimes even on Friday when the show is recorded in the weekend and released on Monday, then on Friday I find time to push a post on Instagram, for example, or on Twitter. So it's better something than nothing, right? So
True, true.
so yeah, so it's just in the workflow in the Excel sheet, and when I done it, I just cross it, and it's I go to the next step.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much, Kono, for being here with me today, and it was a pleasure as always. And
Yeah.
hope to hear from you very soon again.
Yeah, you will. Thank you very much for inviting me. The pleasure was all mine. So yeah, so once again, thank you. It was cool.